Even in our perpetually distracted 24/7 news cycle, a powerful photo still has the unique ability to make us stop and think. But as they do, they can also create a narrative that's a bit too neat. Adam Riley has more.
The photo is undeniably powerful. A woman sprints away from the U.S.-Mexico border, pulling 2 children with her as gas flows from a nearby canister. The image went viral, stoked outrage, and brought fleeting fame to its central figure.
When I see that photo, I just want to cry, she says, claiming that she wasn't crossing the border illegally, but trying to reach it to apply for asylum.
The photographer, Reuters' Kim Kyung-hoon, said of the shot, "I think my picture tells the story of what's happening now. But as memorable as that image is, it might not tell the whole truth."
Desperation turns to anger as migrants overwhelm Mexican police and storm the U.S. border.
That CNN report painted a very different picture of the migrant caravan, suggesting an unruly crowd rebuffed rather than innocents victimized. Also complicating the narrative, the reporting of MSNBC's Gadi Schwartz.
The majority are actually men, and some of these men have not articulated that need for asylum.
For the record, none of that on-the-ground coverage confirmed President Trump's claim about what happened that day.
In some cases, they're not the parents. These are people, they call them grabbers. They grab a child because they think they're going to have a certain status.
Still, it's a reminder that sometimes a photo needs 1,000 words to complete the picture.
That is so thoughtful. I have to say, I don't have a good feeling for what's going on there. I think there's all these different levels of truths, that some of these people are just trying to barge into the country. Maybe that woman wasn't trying to cross the border illegally, but, she had 2 5-year-olds in diapers. I'm suspicious of that. I mean, it's like, I feel like I don't have a good handle.
Still photos are very complicated. It's a moment in time, right? And what happened at that moment may be completely out of context for the broader story. Mm-hmm. I was thinking back of that young child that washed up on shore in Turkey, and how it was, that really sort of galvanized a lot of people around the issue of the Syrians, the migration issue that was going on at the time. But there was, if you read into that story, there was a lot going on with parents getting paid to carry the child. A lot more context to it, but that photo was just, people added whatever their feelings were to that photo. And you're either angry or it actually made you support something or move away from it. And I think that's the problem. It's wonderful to have a photograph that's powerful enough to grab your attention, but that alone can't be the only thing that you rely on for the facts.
I think we need more than one photo to visually tell a story, because there are many truths, as you said, but they're all still truths. So there are parents dragging children in diapers for a long trip because there are no bathrooms by the side of the road, pulling them away from a danger as they're trying to escape worse dangers. But there are also young men who are there, who are angry, who are ready to fight. And there are also old people who are infirm, who are just trying to get to the border for asylum. There's so many different stories. I wish I could have seen more of what he shot that day.
Well, what's fascinating, too, about all of the coverage of the migrant crisis on that border is that so many of the stories are probably what the reporters themselves didn't anticipate finding. There was that one clip that, I don't know if you saw from Fox News, I think it ran on Fox and Friends, where Griff Jenkins was literally, he was in McAllen, Texas, he was literally hiding in bushes, watching people, right? Yep. And, so it's this kind of like, ooh, gotcha, they're trying to come across the border. But then later he goes and interviews them, and they were an incredibly sympathetic group of people saying, there's it's economic hardship and danger for my children. So even that story from Fox News ended up really illuminating the crisis.
Absolutely. Well, not to agree with everybody, but I think we all agree that this photo does not tell the whole story, but it tells a story. Mm-hmm. And one of the things that's going on at the border is that U.S. forces have been shooting tear gas at people, including women and children. And
what should they do?
And in some cases, shooting over the border into Mexican territory. When you talk about what should they do, they certainly shouldn't be doing that.
Well, why? I mean, if an unruly crowd is storming the border and you want them to go back.
Well, it's a violation of international law, for one thing, and you probably don't want to do that.
It's rioting,
Yeah, but it's not on your territory.
And you can't use chemical
weapons. Well, I don't know about them
warfare.
shooting in one country. You can. Police use tear gas all the time. I don't know what it's not.
It's there are nuances.
Like a tear gassy college. Come on.
Emily, what were you doing?
Protesting the war. What else was anybody doing?
As long as they don't tear gas us on the set of Beat the Price.
Yeah.